Elden Ring is definitely not an easy game, but now I have been playing it for so long, it has started to get a little less challenging than it usually is. And don't get me wrong, there are a couple challenging bosses in the game. Yes, some aspects to this game are difficult, but keep in mind, you can almost cheese any boss out of this entire game. But thinking back to this, I had an amazing idea. What if we make an Elden Ring run as easy as possible? Now let's just point out the obvious, certain weapons in this game definitely make it easier than others. Specifically, we're pointing fingers at this weapon that you're seeing that's absolutely broken. But if we're gonna make the game easy, this is not the only thing we're gonna use. So incredible glitches that completely freeze the boss's AI. This one, my personal favorite, completely over buffing our character so it'll just one tap every single thing in sight. I will get to what makes this run quote-unquote easy in just a second, but I just want to say that I'm not going to completely abuse the fact that the chicken leg is so overpowered because we are going to be doing different strats. Because from my perspective, that wouldn't be a very fun video to watch if I just did the same thing over and over again. Before we do start this, let's just go over what actually makes the game easy. Well, just for further clarification, I've set a couple of rules. But first, in order for a boss to really be counted as easy, the fight has to look like it has absolutely zero difficulty to it. Whether that's a completely overpowered cheese or just one tapping the boss. For example, this clip that I just showed of me killing the lion just looks like this takes no skill whatsoever. But number two, I'm going to be literally allowing any glitches or cheese strats to completely turn a fight into a cakewalk. Take, for example, this jump that I did into Mogwin Palace. But now that we have a pretty clear understanding of the rules, let's get right into this video. In order to start off this challenge, we are going to need a lot of items and runes. Well, almost 3.5 hours later, we were finally ready to kill a boss. I wanted to keep a general rule of thumb here. I wanted to keep most of the fights to at least be 2 or less hits. I'll explain more on that later, but for right now, I wanted to keep this early stage of the game really simple. After defeating Margit, we got our second talisman pouch, and the knight we killed earlier, the drop Bloody Slash, is finally going to be coming into play. But for our second talisman, for right now, we are going to use Red Feather because it is the best one we have. I did allow this here since Godfrey took a little less damage during his transition, but it's whatever. Now that he was dead, it is right on to Radahn. But that's after the Grey Rune because the Grey Rune is just really important in this run. But now it is finally time for Radahn. After Radahn, I wanted to do quite a bit on the to-do list, but first off, I grabbed the talisman pouch. Next up, we had access to Landel, so I wanted a very important item there. The big item we needed here was getting the Wet Blade, and not only did this kill off Faith, it also did holy damage. This means that I can freely switch off either or depending on what the boss is weak or strong to. But next up, there was a very easy cheese for Mohg, and I was going to go there next just to get him out of the way and get easy access to the DLC early. Fighting Mohg is so fun straight up, and I wish I could do it, but the point of this video is to make every boss as easy as possible with the cheesiest strategies. But now that we had access to DLC, there is one weapon in particular that we are going to need for this run. But first off, we need to get some Scattered Fragments. But first we headed back to base game just quickly to grab Lightning Spear. This will do a lot of damage since we've been building Faith this entire time, so we are very flexible with the incantations we can use. Quickly before going back to get our weapon, we grab the Dragon Cult Seal because holding this in our offhand will make our Dragon Cult incantations do more damage. Now you can kind of already see where this is going because we are going to get the most broken weapon out of the entire game. Luckily, killing this specific guy here at the Templeton Ruins will always drop this weapon. Luckily for us, since we already had access to DLC, we were able to put this up to 25 already. Usually we wouldn't be able to plus 25 this right now, but the Ancient Forges always give you a smithing stone at the end of when you complete them. It was now time to kill Godfrey, and luckily with all of the time we spent setting up, this fight did not last more than 2 hits. After this fight, we finally get our last talisman bout. I also make sure to make a pit stop in the sewers because we need a very special item down here that will almost double our damage. The Landale catacombs are really confusing, but trust me, the reward you get at the end is worth it. After that fire giant kill, it was pretty clear to me that we were going to run through the rest of the base game bosses. But I'm not gonna lie, Godskin Duel was a little tricky. Not in the way you would seem though. I didn't die or anything, it was just I didn't really do enough damage, but thankfully in this attempt I figured if I just did an R1 it would be enough. Now, believe it or not, Malekith is going to actually be one of the easiest bosses on this run. We simply just do way too much damage for this guy even to get an attack off. But, I whiffed the easiest attack in the game and I wasn't really satisfied with that attempt, so I restarted. That kill was really good, and afterwards I made sure to give Gideon the death he deserves. But honestly, Godfrey was one of the more challenging ones because of his HP pool. I graced out when I first went in so I can have way more time to buff while he walks towards me. So the plan here was to just do the same thing I always been doing and hope it works. I wanted to keep it only one hit per phase, so I had to find a different way around this. The only thing I could really think of at that time was killing Commander Niall for his weapon. And this time, yes, we did a little more damage, but it still wasn't enough. I did it again because I felt I had the buffing sequence wrong, but it still wasn't enough again. So I had to find something else to boost my damage by a little bit. And I farmed a couple blood fiends for the sacred bloody flesh that they drop. It didn't work again though, so I graced out and tried it again with Commander Standard. Thankfully, the 5% difference was able to put me through the transition threshold. Now with Warloo down, there's only one more boss I need to beat before beating the game. But again, this one was a little challenging. I wanted to at least one-shot Radahn. I didn't really care about the Elden Beast, but I needed to break his stance, so I tried Cragblade, but it didn't one-tap Radahn. I put everything back to the outright damage build, but I was so close on this attempt, but I was just not quite there yet. Next attempt, I used the Sacred Bloody Flesh, and thankfully this was just enough to put me over the ledge. This one was kind of crazy because I actually didn't expect to stun this guy without Cragblade or the Stone Barb Cractier at all. And just like that, we had all of base game done. If we're going to make this game extremely easy, we are going to need the Blasphemous Blade. Since the Ash Roar is boosted by a Talisman of the Dread, I went and scooped that up too. There's also an incantation I wanted to grab in the DLC, but we needed a Godfrey icon to make it more overpowered, so we went and got that. For the parts of the game that I wasn't using Red Feather, I replaced it with Ritual Sword just for the little damage boost. Now it was time to grab one of the most broken incantations out of the entire game. Knight's Lightning Spear is still one of the most broken incantations out of this entire game, so we're gonna make sure to grab this. So at around this time, I just killed Mesmer, but the entire recording I did for that day just looks like this. But the fight was extremely easy, so you guys didn't miss out on anything. Anyways, the next boss we were gonna go kill was Romina, and this one was honestly one of the more challenging ones.
Don't you dare approach Mikula the Kind.
I just quickly want to say thank you guys all for watching till the very end of the video. It means a lot. I took a way different editing style for this entire video, so if you enjoyed that, please let me know in the comments. If you want to vote for future videos just like this one was, please go down in the description and join our Discord. If you do like videos like these, please hit that sub button. It would mean a lot. Peace out, and I will see you guys all next time.